Hey sis, welcome back to Rise and Power, our space to retreat, relate, and rejuvenate. I wanted to come on and give you a heads up about the Devo and the Bible study and the book that we'll be going over as we begin this year. And this is really for you and for me. I have been dealing with just trying to hear God more and to even make space to take time to just sit with him. And if you have been wondering, like, okay, is God talking to me about this particular thing, this particular relationship, where I'm supposed to be at in life, this job, different people, just different passions or dreams that you have, whatever it may be, if you have been just having questions, period, this devotional is for you. You want to join us, you guys. We're going to be starting this book, and the devotion is going to coexist with the book. So this is the book, Discerning the Voice of God by Priscilla Shirer. And we're going to be going into a study starting Tuesday, January the 10th. Y'all, I'm struggling on my days. The 10th, as well as we'll start our book club chat, which will go virtually and just online throughout the day on Thursday. That will be January the 12th. That's 2 days after the 10th, right? Yes, y'all. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to bring to your attention in the book that just really got to me when I was doing the study myself. And it said, the tender, submissive heart is the one sensitive enough to continually detect God's leading and to pinpoint the strange, alternative voices of the enemy, fear, and ego that seek to lead us astray. I don't know about you all, but I have been struggling with all those things. Fear, my pride, ego, and just distractions of the enemy. And so it's like you'll hear one thing and then you're like, okay, is that of God or is that of Satan? Or am I being tested or tried? Our pastor had such a good sermon on temptation versus test. But this is something I think that we are all struggling with at some point in our journey. And I think it's very important that we dive deep into studies like this because it helps us to be practical about the things that we're going through in our mind and to make it relevant, because we have to get back to the answers, which are in the Bible. You've done studies on John before, and you hear, like the Lord is my shepherd, or like that he knows his sheep. But what does that mean in your life right now? Like, you really have questions that you need to figure out. But I like that this devotion is going to take us through steps, practical steps to, especially as us women, things that we need to just kind of be challenged with. But also it calls out, like, it lets you know that we can relate to one another, that you're not the only one going through these thoughts. You're not the only one who's going through this process or this journey. And so even things like this that stood out to me, she was trying to get an understanding and kind of just get a poll of people from people and see what are some of the things that have stopped them from like feeling like they hear the voice of God, or like going through the process of like basically obeying, or even just getting a posture of surrender, which is the big thing she talks about in this first part. But people noted things like fear, pride, laziness, stubbornness, peer pressure, procrastination, lack of trust in God, uncertainty as to how to begin, being too comfortable with where they are, impatient with God's timing, feeling unworthy to be used by God, being too busy with personal ambitions, concern that I might be hearing him wrong, disappointment in God because of previous experiences, doubt that obedience will lead to a desirable result. And I had to circle literally probably all of those. I didn't circle one because I was like, I don't know if it's really that right now. But I had to even add a few more because she gives you a space here to add more. And, I had to be honest. Like, I have to ask myself sometimes, is it even worth it to obey or surrender? People pleasing, being distracted by social media or other people's lives. We all go through these things. So if you are struggling with any of those things that I just listed, that is a distraction, and that is something that could be holding you back from surrendering and obeying to God's will. And the one thing I love that she honed in on in this study that I'm going to leave with you right now, when we surrender to God, it's not us giving up our own will. It's letting us open ourselves up to possibilities and to letting God lead us into a more perfect and even more beautiful and beyond an abundant will that we can ever imagine. And so if you think this is anything that resonated with you, join us, you guys. Hit the link below. Tell every sister that you know. You want to be a part of this study. We're going deeper. It's time out for all these distractions. We're going to live into who God called us to be, y'all. So, okay, I hope to see you all there. Bye-bye.